On October 4th, Daryl Morey, general manager of the Houston Rockets, tweeted this in support of the Hong Kong pro-democracy movement. The tweet shocked NBA fans in China and sparked a series of responses from various Chinese companies. Immediately following the tweet, China Central Television and the live streaming platform Tencent Sports reported they would no longer air Houston Rocket games. Additionally, the Chinese Basketball Association, whose president Yao Ming is a former player of the Houston Rockets, officially cut ties with the team. The Chinese consulate in Houston also issued a statement saying that they were deeply shocked by Morey's comments. As a result of the Chinese backlash, the NBA released the following response. In addition to the response from the NBA, players from around the league weighed in on the matter.
So I don't believe, I don't want to get into a word or sentence feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he spoke.
It's an interesting situation because there's so much history involved in it, and I don't know that history well enough to kind of speak on it or to form an opinion yet.
In light of Steph Curry's lack of knowledge on the history between the NBA and China, let's try to understand why all of this matters. Basketball was first introduced in China by YMCA missionaries shortly after the game was invented in 1891, and has been popular ever since. Even when Mao Zedong declared war on almost all aspects of Western culture, basketball remained an important part of the culture in China. When the NBA arrived in China in the 1990s, support from Chinese fans grew rapidly. The league cultivated a fan base of about 450 million Chinese people and established itself in its largest financial market.
The response from the NBA and its players has caused some U.S. politicians to weigh in on the issue. Former 2020 Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke tweeted the following. Senator Ted Cruz also chimed in and showed his support for Daryl Morey and the Hong Kong protesters. The response from these political figures sheds light on the greater significance of this conflict between the NBA and China, and many people are now questioning whether the NBA is placing more importance on their profits and less importance on human rights.
This issue is much larger than the simple conflict between the NBA and China. In 1999, when President Bill Clinton signed the trade deal between the United States and China, the intent was to use trade as a way to spread democracy. People who protested against President Clinton's decision argued that the U.S. should not enter into a trade agreement with a country that strips its citizens of ideals that are essential to democracy, such as free speech. But the president believed that the trade agreement would allow U.S. influence to spread throughout China. The current conflict between the NBA and China reflects the failure of the trade agreement to change China. Not only is China censoring media from its own citizens, but it is also causing an American organization to censor itself. As we watch the pro-democracy movement unfold today in Hong Kong, the U.S. must consider its role as a model for democracy in the world.